Hello, and welcome to another episode of Tech Trends, the podcast where we explore the latest tools and technologies shaping the development landscape. Today, we're diving into a powerful feature in the UV package manager called Workspaces. So, what exactly are Workspaces in UV? The concept is inspired by Cargo, Rust's package manager. A workspace is essentially a collection of one or more packages managed together. It's designed to help organize large code bases by breaking them down into smaller packages that share common dependencies. Imagine this: you have a fast API web app that relies on a series of libraries, each developed as its own Python package. With Workspaces, you can keep all of these packages in the same Git repository, but each one can have its own pyproject.toml. However, the whole workspace shares a single lock file, making sure that every package uses a consistent set of dependencies. UV gives you a lot of power when working with Workspaces. For instance, you can run UV lock to handle the entire workspace at once. And by default, commands like UV run and UV sync operate on the workspace root. But if you need to focus on a specific package, you can always add the package argument. Alright, let's talk about getting started. Creating a workspace in UV is super simple. You just need to add a tool.uv.workspace table to your pyproject.toml. This will make your package the root of the workspace. Once you have a workspace defined, you'll want to specify the members, the packages that are included in the workspace, and optionally, any directories to exclude. You might have a pyproject.toml that looks like this. Tool.uv.sources, birdfeeder equals, workspace equals true. Tool.uv.workspace, members equals, packages /*, exclude equals, packages/seeds. Build system requires equals, hatchling, build backend equals, hatchling.build. In this example, the workspace root is albatross, and the members include all the projects under the packages directory, except for the seeds directory. By default, UV run and UV sync will operate on this root, but you can also target a specific package like birdfeeder. Now, let's talk about workspace sources. When you have multiple packages in a workspace that depend on each other, you'll need a way to handle those dependencies. UV allows you to define dependencies on workspace members through the tool.uv.sources table. For example, if the albatross project depends on birdfeeder, which is a member of the same workspace, you can indicate that with workspace equals true. This tells UV to use the workspace version of birdfeeder rather than fetching it from PyPI or another registry. This setup is great because all members of the workspace will automatically use birdfeeder from within the workspace unless a package explicitly overrides it. Let's move on to workspace layouts. The most common setup is to have a root project, like Albatross, with libraries or modules nested in a packages directory. Each package has its own pyproject.toml file. Here's how the structure might look. Notice that the seeds directory was excluded from the workspace members. This means only Albatross and birdfeeder are active in the workspace. So, when should you use a workspace? Workspaces are perfect when you're developing multiple interconnected packages within a single repository. They help enforce separation of concerns, making your code base more modular and manageable. It's particularly useful if you're working with libraries that have performance-critical components or need a plugin system, where each plugin is a separate package. However, workspaces aren't for everyone. If you need separate virtual environments for each member or if your packages have conflicting requirements, using path dependencies without a workspace might be a better approach. This approach gives you more control over dependencies and virtual environments but lacks some of the conveniences of workspaces, like running commands across all packages simultaneously. Lastly, keep in mind that UV's workspaces enforce a single requires Python version across all members, so it's crucial to have compatibility in mind when working in a shared workspace. That wraps up today's episode on UV's workspaces. I hope you found this dive into organizing your Python projects insightful. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe and share it with your fellow developers. And as always, happy coding!